Like, folks, I love How to Train Your Dragon, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys love How to Train Your Dragon as well. But to see this abomination coming out of literally nowhere, like, at least Riders and Defenders of Berk Race to the Edge was actually announced. Like, I think there was, like, posters or something like that, and despite Defenders and Riders of Berk having kind of bad animation, at least it wasn't 100% terrible. Well, actually, no, at least it wasn't bad. It was actually good. And Race to the Edge was honestly really, really good. Like, I kind of liked it a bit more than Riders and Defenders of Berk. Like, don't get me wrong, Riders and Defenders of Berk are still pretty good series, but Race to the Edge was way, way better. Which is the least I could say for this abomination. This abomination is just a disgrace. Like, it's a disgrace. It is just a disgrace to the How to Train Your Dragon franchise. Just like how a lot of people declared the 1998 Godzilla to be a disgrace to the entirety of the Godzilla franchise. I think now these days there are some people who still think that, but not a whole lot of people, considering almost a good chunk of people are just loving the Godzilla 1998. Well, not loving it as a Godzilla movie, but loving it as a good monster movie. And that's what it is. It's not a really Godzilla movie. It's actually a monster movie. If you could just ignore the human characters just calling the monster in the movie Godzilla, and even ignore the movie title, I think you can actually find yourself enjoying the 1998 Godzilla movie as a monster movie, not a Godzilla movie. But, like I said, I can't say the same for this abomination. Dragons of the Nine Realms is an abomination that no one will probably remember, honestly. This series deserves to be forgotten for disrespecting the How to Train Your Dragon franchise in the worst possible way. Like, you deserve to be forgotten, Dragons of the Nine Realms. You are just a disgrace to the How to Train Your Dragon franchise, and to the How to Train Your Dragon fandom itself. And to the people who do like you, well, good for them. Because I have no problem with it, and no one else should have a problem with it either. If anything, folks, let's just respect other people's opinion, and I will respect their opinion. I respect their opinion as long as they respect my opinion. And in my opinion, Dragons of the Nine Realms is a worst series ever. Like, I cannot believe I used to like this piece of garbage. This piece of garbage is just a waste of everyone's time. The only good thing that you have to offer Dragons of the Nine Realms is Alex and some cool looking dragons. That's some cool-looking dragons. Everything else, no. You're just a disgraced How to Train Your Dragon to the How to Train Your Dragon franchise, and you even get Norse mythology all wrong. Hell, you even get the World Serpent wrong. The World Serpent that is featured in this series is not even the World Serpent. And plus, with the current lore that they said about this thing being like the apex predator of dragons, seriously, this thing is literally smaller than that of the Bewilderbeast and the Red Death. And possibly even the Screaming Death. And if you're other fans who want to include the Purple Death that appeared in the freaking comic books, then, yeah, I say that good for you. I mean, just take a look at the Purple Death. It was literally half the size of Berk itself. And I believe the characters even called that thing Jormungandr or something. Seriously, that was such a missed opportunity. They could have put the Purple Death and had him to be the final main antagonist for Dragons of Nine Realms. But no. Instead, we get just a giant king cobra with extra fangs. This thing is not even that big, honestly. I've seen really big snakes, honestly, in zoos and sometimes when I'm walking around in the yard with the dogs. I've seen big snakes, but this thing, that and also monster movies, literally, if you put this thing in the Monsterverse, I'm pretty sure Warbat would eat the hell out of this thing. This thing is no World Serpent, it is just a giant king cobra with extra fangs. Seriously, this thing isn't even remotely terrifying, let alone threatening. And the audacity that the people who made the show had to make Hiccup a flat-out psychopath and just lock this dragon in a way. Hey, for 1,300 freaking years, Hiccup would never do anything like that. The only thing that he remotely, that was kind of close to this, was him killing the Red Death, but that was pure out of self-defense for him and his tribe. So if anything, I'm pretty sure Hiccup would probably just kill the thing. It would hurt him to do so. And it'll probably make him feel bad for doing so, but in the end, he'll have no other choice. He had no other choice with the Red Death. So, why did the show decide to make Hiccup a flat-out psychopath? He loved dragons, regardless of their size or destructive abilities. Hiccup was a peacekeeper and was willing to let his own best friend go in order to keep the world of dragons safe. And this show had the audacity to say that Hiccup would do something like this. Wouldn't it make sense that it wasn't Hiccup that imprisoned this dragon, but instead, oh, I don't know, maybe some, like, dragon hunter who discovered the hidden world and discovered, like, the so-called world serpent and imprisoned it. And plus, if it's been stuck in a cage for so many years, how would dragons even begin to be afraid of eels? Hell, they were even afraid of eels for a long time. And possibly even way before the show was released. In the end, folks, Dragons of the Nine Realms is just a disgrace. That's all it will be, and it always will be a disgrace to the How to Train Your Dragon franchise. Unlike Godzilla 1998, who had people loving and supporting the series, movie. Anyway, sorry about that. I can't say the same goes for Dragons of the Nine Realms. Dragons of the Nine Realms, you're just a disgrace. You were born to be a disgrace, and you'll always will be a disgrace. It would be a miracle to see a series that is better than this will actually earn the title as the true legacy of How to Train Your Dragon. Maybe then fans will finally be okay with a continuation of How to Train Your Dragon. Because some people, when this series was announced, they weren't too thrilled with the idea about a continuation of How to Train Your Dragon. They just wanted this franchise to be gone and forgotten. Well, not in a bad way, but, you know, just not in the bad way that you think. Maybe in a good way, where they can remember this being a really good franchise. And, yeah. But honestly, at this point, after literally having to experience the Nine Realms, I think at this point, we need a really good, successful legacy of How to Train Your Dragon. Maybe a show that will pick up where Dragons of the Nine Realms failed at, and maybe, just maybe, hopefully, do better. So at this point, I think we're in a desperate need of a legacy of How to Train Your Dragons, and possibly being better than Dragons of the Nine Realms. To this point, I think we all need that. After literally experiencing this hell, I think that's what fans need now. So, Dragons of the Nine Realms, you're nothing but a failure. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys liked this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.